and then the Democrats really took over, and they really do it really well as far as that stuff of turning things on their head. And they're I feel like today they were using the judicial system against Trump,
yeah,
which is,
for sure,
really off the reservation.
Well, they're using the judicial system against Trump. The entire media establishment, other than Fox News, is completely against anything Republican.
Right.
And it's filled with... Did you see on Colbert the other day, Kristen Collins, is that her name?
Yeah. I saw that.
When she said, when Colbert says, Fox just reports, or CNN just reports the facts, the whole audience starts laughing.
Yeah, was that a laugh line?
Yeah, he goes, well, I guess it is.
I guess it is.
So today we're looking at a clip from the Joe Rogan Experience. He's got Dennis Quaid on as his guest. And as you probably know, Dennis Quaid, he's from an acting family, and God, he's been acting since the 70s. I remember him when I was a kid in the 70s. So for a very long time. He's been in Hollywood along with his family, and I believe he is one of the few Hollywood actors who's out, in the sense that he is out as a conservative, which, yes, is very unpopular apparently in Hollywood, has been for many years. Maybe that's changing. I don't know. Let's see what they talk about.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Look, people get it.
Oh, they do get it.
That's what,
well, the pandemic,
bolsters me is that people do get it. Sometimes I think everybody's just swallowing this.
There's a lot of people that are still swallowing. A lot of boomers, a lot of older folks that are just swallowing whatever's in the newspaper and whatever's on television.
And a lot of people aren't news wonkies. Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. My parents live in the States. I haven't lived in the States since 1990. It's a long time ago. So for me, when I go back, it is like going to a foreign country. Obviously, it's a foreign country where I know people, I have family there, and I can speak the language and all that. But I am removed from the culture, and I'm always shocked. My parents, well, yeah, my mom is a boomer. My dad was the previous generation, whichever was at the silent generation, I think. Yeah, they just watch this TV, and I'm shocked. Just watching American TV personally, I find it unbearable. I don't see how Americans can even do it. I'm not saying it's a whole lot better here in Europe, but it's not nearly as bad. It's just nonstop propaganda. It's like it's being downloaded into your brain, a shot into your brain through your eyes and ears. It is unbearable. I always watch a bit of it with them, just as a sort of like a scientist observing. I observe them. I observe what's on TV, and it is insane. You have no idea unless you've been away from it for a long time. I highly recommend that to anyone. Like, just turn it off. Turn off the TV. Turn off social media. Turn off the internet if you can. At least turn off social media and all that. Do it for but a good period of time, like a month or something. Then go back, and it is shocking. The how much our senses are being, and our brain therefore, are being assaulted every day by all sorts of stuff. And you got to be careful about what you let in.
Right.
You and I.
Yeah.
They just get the sound bites, and that's what they do it for. And
it's disheartening. The more you do a deep dive on the actual facts about a thing, like I've heard people repeat. I've had conversations with people. They go, "Well, Trump's a felon. He's convicted of 34 felonies." I go, "Okay. Do you know what those things are? Do you know that they are misdemeanors?
Misdemeanors. Do you know that the statute of limitations had run out on this little misdemeanor?
Yeah, the whole thing
it wasn't
is
a
insane.
campaign contribution. That they just did all kind of gymnastics to make it happen, and then the third person in line in the Justice Department comes back to New York to oversee this case, and it's
just incredibly dangerous.
If you like this content and you want me to keep making it, please subscribe, hit like, notification bell, all that good stuff. Thanks a lot. It really helps.
Incredibly dangerous
because it can also be turned around.
Yes.
And there has to come a point where we go, stop.
Yeah.
We have to stop this, or we're losing our country.
Yeah, I think they're more concerned with being in power than they are with preserving the idea of democracy.
I totally agree with that.
And I think some of that was certainly they were emboldened by the fact they're essentially running the country without a president for the last 3 years.
Yes.
Because he's
not
there.
Not there, really.
And since he's decided that he's not going to run again, he's gone. He's vanished.
It makes me... Who's running?
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Ever since Biden pulled out, he's gone. He has vanished. It's amazing. He's literally vanished, which is fair enough, you know. But who has been running the country? You know, I think we all know that the politicians themselves answer to their masters. And, you know, they answer to their donors, they answer to their masters. Yeah, that's, you know, because to become a politician at federal level in the United States costs a lot of money. So you need donors with very deep pockets. So you answer to them. They don't contribute to your war chest just for the sheer pleasure of it. They want something in return.
Get now.
Exactly.
You know.
And then the crazy thing is Kamala Harris.
Elected, who'll be running then, because they really can't see her like being in charge.
No. It's a figurehead. That's all it is. And what's really wild is the Babylon Bee had a hilarious little caption. They said, when I get in office, I'm going to change things, says the woman who's in office right now.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, she hasn't been president, but I mean, has Biden really been president? She's had his entire term, nearly 4 years, to influence Biden's policy, obviously. And yeah, now she's going to change everything. That's hilarious.
Because she's in office.
Yeah.
She's talking about fixing all these things.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
From
you're
day one,
literally the
on
vice
day
president.
one, I'm going to really do something about the border.
But
says
you
the
are
borders are.
essentially the president right now.
Yeah.
This is so fucking crazy. You'll be the president for 5 more months.
Yeah.
This is so nuts.
But yeah, she's flipped on everything except for plastic straws. She still wants to get rid of those.
Did you see the thing where Trump came out and said that he was going to stop taxes for tips of hospitality workers, and you wouldn't tax them on tips anymore?
Yeah, that was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, and then she came out and said she's going to do it.
Right.
And she's going to stop tips. And everybody cheered as if it was her idea. But here's...
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't even heard of that. Well, tipping culture, of course, Europeans always complain when they visit the United States about tipping culture. Why do I have to pay a tip? You know, but it's just a cultural thing. Yes, it would just be easier to just do away with the whole tipping culture thing. But it does allow people to, in certain industries, to make a lot of under-the-table money, frankly. I hadn't heard that Trump, and now apparently Kamala Harris. See, Kamala Harris here is being smart. Trump has a good idea. She copies it. It's like they're copying each other's ideas. And frankly, I'm not impressed with the ideas that Trump is copying from the Democrats. But let's carry on and see what these guys have to say.
Here's the problem. In 2022, she was one of the deciding votes to go after people that were not reporting their tips.
Oh, that's interesting. Now that I had no idea about. Incredible. Politicians are just scumbags. Let's face it, guys. I mean, yeah, Trump was a breath of fresh air in 2016. He is a shadow of the 2016 Trump today. Excuse me, just a shadow. And, you know, clearly things have changed. And he's also, I mean, he's just slower and yeah, he's not the same guy. I mean, and all this flip-flopping and his undying love for Israel. He's constantly going on about Israel and how Kamala Harris is elected and, you know, there will be no more Israel. It's like, dude, why don't you think about your own country? You know, that's all you have to do. All you have to do to win is actually do the kind of things you did, say the kind of things you said in 2016, actually show you're for the American people. Why don't you try that instead of showing that you're for foreign countries or getting caught up in the warmongering rhetoric of the Democrats, who are apparently the pro-war party now. Yeah, why the Republicans should have just let the Democrats hang themselves by all this nonsense they're spewing.
Was that on the Inflation Reduction Act or the Green New Deal? I think it was one and the same. Right. She was the tiebreaker.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to tax the business instead, which in turn taxes the workers that
Yeah.
are there.
What? They're going to tax the businesses for the tips of the workers? Okay, I won't talk about that. I don't know what he's talking
But
about.
it's hilarious that 2 years later she's acting like this is her idea now.
Yeah.
Like you had a chance. You could have swung it the other way 2 years ago.
Yeah, could have been right in there.
It's just-
or that she was all the brags that she was the last person in the room when it came to the withdrawal in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
What? Boy, I'm really out of the loop, apparently. The last person in the room when it came to the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Well, we know that was a complete and utter shit show. Pardon my French. That was just embarrassing, sloppy, irresponsible. Just, but frankly, it was a proper fitting, or it was a proper ending, or a fitting end. Let's put it that way. A fitting end to 20 years of American occupation of Afghanistan, which should never have started, and which proved in the end to be completely and utterly pointless. Sunk, what was it, trillions of dollars into that? It was some insane amount of money, resources, etc. And as soon as they pull out, the Taliban take over, and things are back to normal in Afghanistan. So yeah, really, really great policy there, and really great withdrawal.
And we left $87 billion of military equipment there. We have 13 soldiers that were killed, and there's still people over there in hiding.
Yeah. And also the
Didn't
people that
get
work with us. All the people that work with us. All
Yeah.
the translators.
Yeah.
All the Afghanis that helped us. They're all fucked.
Well, Trump had all that stuff. He was doing it right. Yeah, he had that that meeting that he had with the Taliban leadership, and where he so what we're going to leave, but if one soldier's head is touched, we're going to be back, and just to show you how we can do it, here's your address.
They had a photograph of his house.
Yeah, they gave him to him,
Yeah.
and that's when they went, okay.
Well, that would have been good. That's the way you got to deal. I mean, if you're going to be the American empire, you're going to be the global empire, as America is. It is a global empire, the American empire. And you got military bases around the world, and you invade countries from time to time and cause absolute chaos, like they did in Iraq, like they did in Libya, like they did in God knows where else. In Afghanistan or in Vietnam earlier. Yeah, if that's the role you want to play, okay, play it, but play it properly. And yeah, okay, you sit down with the Taliban, you tell them, okay, obviously you're the empire. You can't say, okay, you guys win. You can say, okay, we're going to pull out. We're going to let you, we're going to pull out. Don't mess with us as we're pulling out. Just like Dennis Quaid said here, don't mess with us as you're pulling out. We know where you live. We'll blow you up. And I'm sure the Taliban, frankly, they would have said, okay, pull your stuff out. And they could have done it over a period of months, flown everything out, instead of leaving it all there for the Taliban, all that equipment. Just insane. Anyway, interesting conversation between Dennis Quaid and Joe Rogan here. Let me know what you think. If they said anything that you thought was interesting, or if you want me to do more on more clips from Joe Rogan with Dennis Quaid. And I'll see you in the next video.